Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Americanism, not globalism. Americanism, not globalism. The era of economic surrender will finally be over. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism.
They have gotten the political establishment and the media establishment to become pure, wanton henchmen of totalitarianism.
If you were a foreign power looking to weaken America, you couldn't do better than Hillary Clinton's economic agenda.
I think what the Chinese have done is really smart.
The skyscrapers went up in Beijing and many other cities around the world, while the factories and neighborhoods crumbled right here in Detroit.
It's all training us to accept less, lowering expectations, a post-industrial world, a new dark age. That's what the UN Biological Diversity Assessment 1996 calls for.
When we abandoned the policy of America first, we started rebuilding other countries instead of our own.
Not a world, Winston, that gets more beautiful and more technological and stronger. A world that gets uglier and stupider and more stunted.
That the government should allow Hillary Clinton to become president of the United States.
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Well, I voted for Hillary. I guess I have to since I'm working for her as well.
You want an image of the future, Winston? It's a boot stomping on a human face forever.
Muslims are peaceful and tolerant people and have nothing whatsoever to do with terrorism.
Women are treated, discriminated against in all of these countries she took money against. Gays and lesbians are either executed or punished severely. They're mistreated. She claims to be their champion. Don't look at me, Winston, and see the black circles around my eyes and see how ugly and weak I am, expressing myself and dying, that I torture people 18 hours a day, that I have a horrible life. That's the beauty of the satanic evil of the priest of power, ripping apart humanity. We're here to hurt humans. We're here to suck your guts out.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance.
Again, Hillary hates Hillary for prison shirts. That's why everybody should get them. It's that simple. If they were invincible, she wouldn't be trying to threaten comedy clubs and not make fun of her. They wouldn't be trying to, threaten aircraft companies that already said we can't fly your planes, they'll come after us. And then now we find a company that will do it, and then they do a first-time exclusion zone for 30 miles out at the RNC and DNC. It's because it is effective they're putting up defenses. It's because they do know, they are aware. We've identified them. The globalists are now out in the open. This is the beginning of the end, so they're going to launch everything they've got at us. We'll talk to Matt Bracken about that of enemiesforeignanddomestic.com here in just a moment. Former Navy SEAL, best-selling author, really smart guy that's predicted all of this with his Tet 2 Islamic invasion articles. Let's go to Paul Watson to get his take from London, England. He's got family right outside Nice, so this is personal for him. DrudgeReport.com is now linked to our article. Thank God. Media blames truck, not terrorist or Islam, for Nice attack. It's part of the censorship, part of the war on the American people, the part of the war on truth. I mean, this is coordinated. This is military-level brainwashing. This is war-level disinfo. Facebook will not let us put in the words Islamic terror on our own videos. I mean, we have it on video and tells us Islam is not, Muslims are not terrorists. That's what we're allowed to say. I mean, this is so unprecedented to see coordination with the big tech companies, Western governments. Facebook, for years, calls the German police when someone says we're under an invasion, and they come and arrest you. I mean, I know we keep saying that. Facebook wants to do that here. Zuckerberg wants you arrested. He's an enemy of this country. He's part of a takeover. This is 21st century war, folks. It isn't the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor now. This is global government with Soros and these other people coming after us with an army of jihadis. I talked to Paul last night, even before Newt Gingrich had said this before. And I said, what is this, Paul? And he said, this is war. War on the West, attempted takedown. He goes, we're taking the gloves off. And I said, that's right. I want the gloves off, and I want brass knuckles on. We are going all out. Paul Watson, give us your take on the situation. The 84 dead, over 100 wounded, 50 plus in critical condition. Hollande, who lowered the drawbridge, called the enemy in with the signals, is now presiding over another death banquet What a horrible demonic creature.
Well, I mean, it is a war, Alex, but the problem is many of our leaders have already completely capitulated. And you can see that today from the reaction from Manuel Valls. This is the French Prime Minister who said that France learned to, quote, live with terrorism. He actually said the French people must now tolerate the mangled, limbless corpses of innocent people, of innocent children on the streets, because that's the new reality. They've got to get used to it. And that's why people keep France being attacked over and over again, because they've surrendered. Because that's where they're going to institute
and that's
the first
key.
area of
even when you surrender, other groups don't do this. When you surrender to Islam, it gang rapes you even harder.
Yeah. And then look at these headlines. Ignore the hysteria. Europe can live with terror. Another one out of the sympathy should be our only response to the Nice terror attack. This is how the terrorists are winning. This emboldens. This is why they keep attacking France, because now they think we've got our foot in the door. This is really working.
Sure. They're trying to break our will, Paul. The media is trying to normalize this. They're running up the white flag. That's the headline. Western media runs up white flag. Please continue.
Look at this. Hours before the Nice attack. Literally a few hours before. In fact, 2 hours before. President Hollande, quote, what threatens us is the rise of populism. That's a quote 2 hours before this attack. The rise of populism. These people are more afraid of losing political power, of so-called right-wing populist parties getting in power, than the fact that their country, almost every month now, is being bombarded again and again. They're more afraid of being called Islamophobic. And the same goes for the left, than people with whom they disagree getting a chance at power. And, you know, I talked about this in a video, which is just gone up on Infowars about 30 minutes ago. You know, the left, you've capitulated, you've lost, you have no argument remaining. Now it's somebody else's turn to actually try and fix this massive mess that you've created.
But they know that. They want to burn everything down because they can't compete with real liberalism and the Renaissance. The body snatcher always wants to kill what it's copying. Paul, I think you underestimate their evil.
No, I totally agree. I'm just talking to the few leftists who are still ignorant and are still...
Well, they don't matter. I mean, they all are triggly puffs and can't even talk. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they have allied themselves with the Islamists because, again, they share the same goals. In this video, again, I post the screenshot out of ISIS's own manifesto where they say, we're going to go and recruit the left wing, the, quote, anti-Zionist, the pro-Palestinian people. We're going to radicalize them. We're going to arm them. Because they roughly share the same beliefs. They hate the West. They want to bring it down.
Well, away. Stay there. I want to get Matt Bracken, again, former Navy SEAL, author, anti-terrorism researcher who predicted this Islamic Tet 2 would be kicking off big time this year. More and more frequent, larger attacks in concert, like a major war. Just like the globalists launched Arab Spring with this jihadists to take over the Middle East. Matt, this is clearly coordinated with high-level, state-level, international-level coordination with the media to cover this up and carry this out. This is amazing. What do you expect to happen next?
First, I want to say, Paul Joseph Watson, your videos are amazing. My daughter and her generation are turned on to them. I can't say enough about your videos. I think they're at the very top of the entire genre. Now, something that I need to use two Arabic words. One is jizya and one is dhimmi. Another concept in English is called the bride price. When a traitor comes over, say back in the Cold War era terms, a Russian traitor came over, the bride price were the secrets that he brought. You know, you didn't just show up and say, I hate the KGB. You had to burn some KGB people back in Moscow. That's the bride price. The Hollande and Merkel, their jizya, their bride price for continuing in power under the new caliphate is to betray their own people, to lie to about their own people and to their own people.
That's right. So they've had the meetings where they say, you've got to give us cover for our jihad. We want to see you let us do this. Just like a gang member to be initiated has got to go kill an old lady for no reason. This is literally a gang initiation.
Well, this is a gang initiation where the leaders of Europe are lying to their own people, and they know they're lying to their own people. This is their bride price, their jizya tax for becoming safe dhimmis and keeping their power. Now, some of them might just out and out say, I converted long ago, I'm a Muslim, fooled you. Or they might say, as long as I keep my palace and my villa and my estate, I don't really care. But their bride price, their jizya tax, is to sell out their own people. People need to understand this. Our leaders, like Jay Johnson at the Senate Intelligence Committee 2 weeks ago, he was asked about Phil Haney and the say something, say nothing. He said he had no idea. Ted Cruz had a big chart behind him with all of the words in the 9/11 report that have been expunged year by year. And Jay Johnson just flicked his hand and said, I have no idea what you're talking about. So these guys
it's the same way they denied world government as they built it. Now it's out in the open. They deny the Islamic invasion. This is the mind control and call you a conspiracy theorist. They're actually now saying that if you say this was Islamic. There's new headlines. We are conspiracy theorists.
We need to see them and call them traitors.
I agree with you. Now, let's expand on this. Let's expand on this, Matt Bracken, because what you said is absolutely at the heart of this. You look at the London mayor, all of this. Once they get in, they activate and let you know, yes, we're conquering you. Yes, we're taking you over. Because whatever you want to say about Islam, it at least wants to take over, is dominant, will do whatever, and has a long-term strategic plan. The globalist minions just want to sell out and are such total scum. How do we counter that?
A bad ideology beats no ideology. Even an evil, bad cult beats secular nothingness and nihilism.
That's right.
The postmodern nihilistic, all things are the same. There's no good, there's no bad. That means Islam wins because
don't we need a new crusade? I mean, the crusade's got a dirty name, but we were attacked for 400 years before we went in there and kicked their ass. And I'm sorry, if they want one, and this time we want to attack countries that are moderate, Saudi Arabia and all these other jihad centers, they want to fight, they need to really get one.
Well, the good thing is that we have this constitution, so we have at least a legal trench line to fight in, which is that our constitution is above Sharia law. And anybody who says, for example, Hillary Clinton, she wants to pass this thing called UN Resolution 1618, which outlaws blasphemy against Islam. Like Obama said, the future must not belong to those who slander the prophet.
And that's why the internet now won't let you criticize Islam, enemy, because that's blasphemy. Gone is our First Amendment.
Well, that's Sharia. That's submission to Sharia. But there are thousands of veterans, particularly those who have fought in the Middle East, that have seen this evil up close, and they're locked and loaded, and they are not going to submit. I guarantee you they're not.
I was about to say, I don't know what the globals think they've bit off, but they are. This is like two freight trains at 100 miles an hour going towards each other. It is crazy.
In 1993, Hillary Clinton ordered Vince Foster's dead body to be moved and dumped to avoid a murder investigation. New York Times best-selling author Roger Stone names names. The Clintons' War on Women, in stores now.